Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting video. Today we have more important news about the gameplay details. If you watched yesterday's video, this is new news you have to see, so please watch until the end. Thank you so much, and I will also ask for 1,000 likes today because we're always reaching our goals. Now today I'm going to be talking about the gameplay details for Battlefield 6. And we just reached 10,000 subscribers, and for that I will reward you with some more information we have found. And yesterday we did get a lot of information, a huge chunk of it, but it's something very important has come to our mind. There's a little older leak that we really have found that tells us a lot more about the gameplay for Battlefield 6. The first time I saw this leak, I didn't think much of it. It really seemed like a fan fiction, but now that we're having more information at our hand, it seems like we're getting a lot more info. Battlefield 2020 won't be the rumored Bad Company 3. Now we all knew at this point, but a year ago or so, no one had an idea if it's gonna be a World War II game, if it's gonna be a World War I game, or if it's simply gonna be a next-gen game. And now we finally know. So before I continue writing, I just wanted to make note that I'm trying to acquire some harder sources and evidence to attach within this post at a date further down the line. And this is a huge green flag, because usually when there are red flags around and the post is fake, they don't provide any sources and the posts usually get taken down really. This information comes from a recent freelance post I did as a designer. Don't want to make my job role specific in case I harm my career down the line with revealing information and whatnot. For a digital design agency local to me. And what's really important to note here, EA is hiring a lot of smaller studios to actually work on Battlefield 6, because if only DICE worked on Battlefield 6, well, the game would need years to being finished, just like GTA 6 for example. During this time to this position, two of my co-workers were ex-DICE employees, both leaving a year ago and 3 months respectively. They left apparently not on good terms and were more than willing to share their info. More willing to share their info. This makes sense. Two devs went rogue. So development for Battlefield 2021 started around 2 years ago, before Battlefield 5 shipped. And this is a leak we have now confirmed. Like, before this was unknown, this kind of looked like a fan fiction, right? And now we finally know. DICE has had both game concepts, 2021 and Battlefield 5, in early production at roughly the same time, with Battlefield 5 starting before Battlefield 1 released. So they first started Battlefield 5 and then they actually started on the 2021 kind of Bad Company game, right? But they just went up and make Battlefield 5. The initial idea was that the 2021 concept, so this is the recent game, which I'll go into this post, would release in 2018, with the World War II setting being the 2021 release. That's really interesting. What if we got a World War II game instead in a different timeline? Like, that would be pretty exciting, to be honest. But however, DICE found the World War II setting was easier to flesh out earlier down the line, as the team could build on what they want to know from previous World War II Battlefield games and from recent experience developing Battlefield 1, which was from World War I. And this definitely makes sense. Like, even you have much less content to make for World War II, then you have to make drones, you have to make every single character really specific and really advanced, really. So this makes sense. You just can kind of rebrand the game, and World War II games were really trendy back then in 2018 and earlier. Now, the 2021 game's concept and setting needed a lot more time to be worked on and fleshed out, which now we're getting the release. Now, they needed for Battlefield 5, right? So they released Battlefield 5 earlier. EA made it clear that they had to have a 2018 Battlefield release to please the shareholders, so they asked DICE to hurry Battlefield 5 in development. This explained the relatively poor launch that Battlefield 5 had, and it makes total sense. Like, you don't want to skip a year and just, like, they really took the time for Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 2021, but back then, you could just be releasing a lot of games, because this is exactly what Call of Duty is doing, as a lot of development was rushed into production to hit 2018, and this certainly goes with the previous leaks we have heard. Now we're coming up with gameplay leaks, which is really exciting. This is where 2021 comes in. While Battlefield 5 was in late production, development on Battlefield 2021 began. Leaks late last year and earlier this year stated that this game was in fact Battlefield Bad Company 3, and this is a really old leak, but in those leaks, the most part were true. During early development, DICE had full intention of making this a Bad Company sequel. But it's not gonna be a Bad Company sequel anymore. It's gonna be a specific new game, which is a continuation of Battlefield 3 and 4. Now, they actually dedicated to a team to dig through the development of Bad Company 2, as EA and DICE were not worried they shouldn't be able to replicate what they make games so beloved. So, they actually dedicated a team to dig through the development of Bad Company 2, as EA and DICE were worried they wouldn't be able to replicate. This is exactly what happened. As development furthered along, DICE started to hit a number of issues. Namely that the game didn't feel like a Bad Company game. And this is exactly a big problem, because you really have to try hard to recreate a good game that will last for generations. And they couldn't get the voice actors, writers, or lead multiplayer designers back or to consult on Bad Company 3. That is kind of worrisome. Like, does this mean we're ever getting Bad Company 3 if we can't get back voice actors or lead multiplayer designer? Probably not. Probably not for some time, unless it's gonna be a remastered, which could work. But after this, they decided to shut down production and rework what they had developed so far into a new title. So they basically, this is gonna be like a Bad Company game, just not with the Bad Company setting, if you get me. And this is still pretty good news. They scrapped the Bad Company idea in March, April of 2019. This is why DICE has decided not to release a Battlefield game next year. They would rather work on another game and, yeah, do this later on. To go into more detail about Battlefield 2021, this is where it gets really juicy. The game returns to the series to modern setting, which was confirmed. This is a really old leak that nobody trusted. Everyone was hoping for something else. Everyone was hoping for Vietnam, for example, being set apparently in 2030, which is exactly what Tom Henderson said yesterday, and will feature a focus on near future through realistic technology. This includes drones, robotics, and AI. Now, I don't know much about the campaign or narrative, but I do know they're ditching the whole war story setup with this game, and I feel like a lot of people will be happy with this. A lot of people were not happy with war stories overall. To tell a story more like Battlefield 3 and 4, this is good. This is really good. I want a story like Battlefield 4, maybe even the continuation, what happens next. Now, war stories are a great example of a good setup, but a lot of people don't like it. So going back to the old roots, I think it would really help them out a lot. But now we know more about the story. We know that there's gonna be a campaign, I guess. At least it was intentioned to be a campaign. In terms of multiplayer, okay, this is where it gets exciting. The game will bring back a revised version of Revolution, which we have heard in the leaks. We have heard this in the leaks, which will require more effort to trigger compared to Battlefield 4, where just one player could activate an event. So you could just press a button and destroy the whole map, and a lot of players left. That wasn't fun. Or someone could place, a few C4s on Siege of Shanghai, and that was it. The revolution was triggered. Nothing could be done anymore. I feel really excited that more players have to activate a certain event. So they even look, let's listen carefully. Like, Revolution this time round is designed to be more tactical and can vary from game to game. It's less of a scripted event, more of a different actions the team has to take and can result in different outcomes, such as different types of destruction. This is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is in 2019, now it's even more improved. On the topics of destruction, it has been majorly improved thanks to the next-gen capabilities. And this is even before the PS5 was released, do mind you. Bullets realistically penetrate walls depending on the material. Oh my god, that is new news. We never heard this before. This is really good. Imagine shooting through the wooden wall where an enemy is hiding and actually destroying them. Like goodbye snipers. I'm gonna snipe them through the wall, leaving actual bullet holes in geometry. Oh, okay. Yeah, this kind of geometry, this kind of confirms what I said about Battlefield 6, or what we have heard, but buildings can now fully collapse again instead of just breaking apart walls. So you can chip away at foundations and load burying walls to make the entire building come down. This is really good, like multiple buildings now being destroyed. Before we had... Whoa, okay, this is big news. Imagine if you can destroy every single building. Like, this is a lot of information. Destruction is now material based, so wood wall will break apart with just one explosive round, and I'm talking one, or a load of bullets, while metal or concrete wall will require a lot more damage to break open. This is actually really good news. I'm really hyped for this. That will require a lot more damage to break open. I want to see what's up next. Apparently on one map they're planning to make it so that you can destroy the entire skyscraper with jet strikes. This is what I have been hearing. This is what Tom Henderson has been talking about. Rush with jet strikes, you can destroy skyscrapers. Dude, that is so awesome. Rush also returns, and Breakthrough too, with maps being designed more around Rush. Okay, that's good, that's good. I love how a lot of people love Rush, and I also love Rush. Conquest will return as usual, and so will Air Assault. The usual vehicles also make an appearance, reintroducing helicopters alongside tanks, APCs, jets, and buggies. A little thing to add I thought was interesting is that the team trying to develop a new way to crash land planes so that your plane being shot down isn't an instant death, rather you can attempt to crash land it and make it escape the wreckage. Oh my god, I hope they don't remove this feature, because that would be awesome. Imagine, you going for your final toss and you just try to land your airplane. That is actually exciting. Okay, what do you say about drones and robotics? Drones and robotics make the biggest addition to vehicles. You can get UAVs that allow you to mark targets for your team from above, drones that deliver missile strikes, and bombing runs. What? Bombing rugs? We're actually getting bombing rugs. Oh, I'm gonna if that's true, I'm gonna pre-order it. There is no doubt. And land-based drones and robots that will allow you to breach buildings. Are they serious? This is so good. Drones and robots that will allow you to breach buildings and disarm bombs or spot enemies. Oh my god, that is exciting. That honestly makes me very excited. Commander mode is planning to be brought back too. Okay, that's good news. As far as I was told, this is DICE's attempt to bring back Battlefield back to its roots, with the team taking a lot of notes from Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 3. And later, this wasn't really confirmed, but more about Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. We did see a few Easter eggs about Battlefield 2, the coordinates if you watch that one. But development is full swing, and the game is hoping to launch in holidays of 2021 for PS5, Project Scarlet, and PC. And Project Scarlet was actually the Xbox One Series X. So just so you know, this was like all early. Like, you can't make this stuff up. So there you have it, a really long video, but you really deserve it, to be honest. I feel like I made my points clear on the new Battlefield 6 gameplay leaks that you probably have missed. And considering this is very similar to what Tom Henderson has been talking about, and he has very reliable sources, this is most likely true. I am definitely excited to what Battlefield 2021 brings, because this is some good news. As always, be sure to subscribe for more Battlefield content, leave a like, subscribing will help you out a lot, I promise. And this is Battlefield Central, sign out. Peace, guys.